and welcome back to Book, Stage and Screen. We're lucky enough to have Sandra Muller here. Welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. And what a beautiful day we've got.
I know. I hate winter in Melbourne, but when she does winter well, she does it very well.
She can turn it on.
Well. And usually every Thursday it tends to be terrible weather. So we tell everyone to stay home and listen to our show today. We're like this. Oh, we won't mention the weather because they might want to go out and miss us. But we invited you to come in and talk about your path to being a media strategist, a digital media strategist.
Yes, that's right.
Yes.
Yeah, well, I graduated many, many moons ago, mid-90s. I had a professional writing degree. Yep. And at that time, the internet was just emerging as a modern communication tool. And I thought, this is a space where I could actually carve out a career and make some money. Because, of course, at the time, I wanted to be a screenwriter, film director, in that sort of area. But I knew that I didn't really have what it takes to get there. I couldn't deal with the rejections and so forth. So, I carved out a career for myself in digital media from web design and have specialised in online content since 2004. Yeah. And I've then moved into digital marketing as well since about 2010. So it's a nice combination of skills and experience. Yeah. So I'm a freelance copywriter. I work for myself and I just love working with small businesses far and wide across Australia. I like helping people find their authentic voice and to roll that out across all their communications.
Well, that probably comes from your study in screenwriting and being able to adapt your voice.
Yeah, well, telling a story, because that's what people engage with. You just don't want long-form sales copy. That's just boring. And for an about page for somebody, you know, you want to know what their story is so that you can identify and engage with them. I think that's really important.
Because for a lot of writers, you know, they want to write and then they find out, oh, I've also got to be able to pitch and now I've also got to be able to work out social media. It's like another thing that's, you know, it's a whole new area.
Yes.
What sort of skills and things can you bring to a writer that can sort of help them?
Well, first of all, I'd like to say that I think that writers or any creative types, whether you're a visual artist, whether you write poetry, whether you write novels and whatever genre that might be, whether you're a musician as well, whether you're an actor, there's a big part of you that is creative. And there is so much noise and clutter out there in digital land that I think that creative people have a really good opportunity to be able to cut through that noise, do something a little bit different and be seen. So it's a matter of thinking of a way that you can reach people, perhaps a little bit different to what everybody else is doing, or
that's a good way to think about it, because I think once a lot of creative people have actually done their project, which takes a lot out of you usually, you know, emotionally and creatively, and then your publisher or your, you know, producer or something says, oh, okay, well, it's as much about you now as it is about the project. And you think, what? You know, tell us something interesting about yourself, and you think, I think I just put all that in my work.
Well, it's so easy to do it for other people, and this is what I find too, but it's, don't like talking about ourselves. And particularly here in Australia, tall poppy syndrome, you know, off goes that head. So we do tend to, you know, not boast.
So you sort of began mid-90s, and there is that famous clip from the Today Show where they were talking about what's the internet, which is funny. So obviously you would have seen the whole progression and how it's changed. And
well, not the whole, because really I got into it about 94, 95. And it was very basic HTML markup back in those days. And then to watch where it's at these days, and plus the rise of social media as well.
So I guess for smartphones have changed social media in a way that that, because they're always on the go.
Yes, I have a sore wrist permanently because my phone is always in my hand and I am just so engaged online in different groups and on different social media platforms. It's like a constant 24/7 presence, which I really need to dial back from. I don't need to be there that much. But
I've got children.
I think.
I left them somewhere, probably school.
But then because there is so much out there, how do you sort of target what is best for you as a creator, whether it's Facebook or Snapchat or Twitter or a web page? What is it? How do you work it out?
Well, I think there are two things to consider here. And the first is what medium you are comfortable with. So if you're comfortable with Facebook, fantastic. If you're comfortable with doing live video and or tweeting, for example, then Twitter or Snapchat might be your preferred mode. But the other thing to consider that goes hand in hand with that is where your audience is. So pretty much everyone's on Facebook. There's like 1.5 billion active monthly users and over 1 billion daily active users on Facebook. So there's a pretty good chance your audience is there somewhere, and it's just a matter of finding your path through to them. It can be Facebook's making it a lot harder now for Facebook pages, for example, to be seen without coming up with some coin, So that's one aspect. Yes, they're probably on Facebook. And if that's a medium that you feel comfortable with, by all means, set up a page. And I advise people to set up a page, a business page, as themselves, as an author, as a writer, as an artist, and not their own personal profile, because that actually goes against the terms of service with Facebook, and they could shut down your personal profile that you're using in a business capacity at any time.
Right.
Yes. So,
Oh, that's good to know, because a lot of people who are inexperienced with Facebook would just go, I'll just... And then they blow out to like 5,000 members or something, and then Facebook cuts it off.
Yes. So the second thing to do then, if you do start to grow a following on Facebook, is to try and gather email addresses, because any digital marketer will tell you that the money is in the email list.
Right.
Because Facebook is someone else's playing field. You own the race course, not the race horse. So when you're playing on Facebook, you're playing... anything could change and happen overnight. So if you can try and draw people away from Facebook, get them to sign up to your newsletter, keep them actively engaged that way. That way, if something did go wrong and your Facebook page got shut down, you'd still have a way to communicate with your audience. But if you've got 5,000 people who like you and you don't know who those people are, you've got no way to tell them, hey, Facebook's being a little bit poo-poo and has shut me down.
Right, okay. And so do you suggest maybe only having 2 types of platforms?
Well, again, I think that depends on the level of comfort of you. If you want to explore 2 or 3, then go for it. But if you're happy just to stick with Facebook for now and perhaps grow that, then do that. There's no hard right or wrong answer here. It comes down to the individual and where your audience is.
Because it is very hard to build an audience, you can put something out and it'll get 50 views or something over 2 years, whereas you look at someone like Kim Kardashian and she's got 30 million followers for look at this dress I'm wearing. How do you build an audience? What do you have to do?
Well,
I know that's a ridiculously hard question.
It's a very multi-level question, but I just had this image in my mind then of, can you imagine when Kim Kardashian does post something on Instagram or Facebook and her phone would just blow up? How many notifications? I'm sure she turns them off. But look, I think it's about finding your authentic voice and connecting with your tribe. So finding the people that get you and get what you're doing. And there is no magical formula. It just takes time and consistency. You have to be consistent. You have to show up every day and show your fans some love. And start now. if you haven't started yet, start now, because if you're writing a novel and then you get to a publisher and you have barely a presence on social media, then it's a lot harder to ramp up that marketing campaign that comes with launching your book. But if you've already got a ready-made tribe behind you, people that do like you, love what you're doing, you've shown them snippets of the book along the way, they've voted on the book cover, etc. The time it comes to publish your book, you have ready-made customers waiting for it. So start now, start today, don't wait.
Yeah, that is a good advice.
And so is that the sort of thing, like customers would approach you and say, I need you to sort of help tailor my social media presence. I need you to give me some ideas, what roads to go down. Is that the sort of thing that you direct people towards or help them with their writing of what they're putting out there?
It is. And I see it as a holistic thing that goes with having a web presence as well. And then there's that whole wonderful world of search engine optimization, SEO. And so that's how people will get found and become visible within Google. And then having your support, I suppose. I see social media as very much plugging into that and being a support mechanism as well, because at the end of the day, as I said before, and I hate that expression, at the end of the day, you want to build your email list.
Yeah.
So you want to be driving people away from social media. Social media is great for grabbing their attention, but somehow you want to be driving them to your website to sign up for your newsletter, to download your free ebook, to buy your book, to buy your artwork, to buy your music, download your music, etc.
Yeah.
Well, I do speak with actors and actresses, and definitely I let them become aware of the fact that people cast now, and so do models as well. They cast based on your social following.
Yeah.
If you've got 10,000 followers on Instagram, you get the gig, as even if you're not the best actor going up for the role who has no social media following. Because some people used to brag about how, I'm not on Facebook and I hate it and things like that. But
Kicking themselves.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
They don't realise how essential it is.
But at the same time, I don't want people to get too caught up in the numbers game, because numbers can be very much just a vanity metric. And if you have 10,000 followers on Instagram and you post a picture on Instagram and you get 3 likes, that doesn't look very good at all. So never ever buy fans. Because if you've got a fan base and they're not engaged with you, there's no point. You're talking to an empty room.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter whether you've got 100, 1,000, 100,000 followers. What you should be looking for is an engagement metric rather than, of course you want to build your follower numbers.
Yeah.
But especially when you're starting out, as well. Just look at how many likes you're getting and how many comments and shares, how many retweets, etc.
It is interesting. I remember when we started the Facebook page for this, and everyone's very excited at the start, and you get lots of likes and good luck and
friends.
stuff.
The first 100, the first 100 are just our friends.
Just friends. And that's good because at least you got 100. and then talking about guests each week. I guess because we're on weekly and we're talking about 3 people each week, and usually a musical guest, so that's 4 posts that they're seeing. Things sort of die off a bit. And then we went somewhere and we posted something about how close we were to the stage of someone we saw. And I just put out the question, how close have you been to the stage? Boom! All this, people replying, I once went to this concert. Because obviously it resonated with people and they really enjoyed being asked that question. I just put it out there because I thought we'd never been 3 rows from the front. I think I just wanted to show off a little bit, to be honest. I thought, wasn't that really interesting? A question was good. I don't think you ask a question every time, otherwise people would be like, for the love of God.
No, that's it. You've got to find the right balance, and this is what I do help people with social media, and particularly with Facebook, is coming up with the right sort of posting schedule. So it's not all self-promotion. It's not all about me. Asking questions of your audience is a great way to get some engagement. Give them something educative. I didn't say that right, did I? Something educational. Just dipped into the word bucket there for an alternative. So something educational that and something perhaps not even directly related to you and your business or your body of artwork, something a little bit different. And so that's to attract and engage people as well, and the sort of stuff that people like to share because, hey, this is really cool or this is really clever, and that's one way that you can get noticed. And then, of course, you can promote something yourself.
No, it's good.
And I think it is important, like sometimes you get people popping up on Facebook and, you know, you never hear from them until they want to sell you something or want you to buy something. And
don't be that person. Yeah.
So I'm sure there are sort of a heap of traps like that people can fall into that you're able to sort of steer them away from.
Oh, yes. It's just etiquette. It's just understanding the etiquette, and it's the same when you get involved in Facebook groups, for instance. And there's a way to behave and there's a way not to behave, and the person that will set up the group will set the rules, and it's important to check out what they are, and so you're not in there posting about your business or yourself every single day. They often limit it to just one day, or they don't allow it at all. But the key there is to be helpful. So don't be self-promotional. If someone asks a question in that forum and you have a good answer for them, go and give it. And then you can build a reputation there as someone who is helpful, who is knowledgeable, so that when you do have the opportunity to post something, people are like, Samantha, she's great. She knows her stuff.
And you
post that?
Well, you have mentioned words like SEO, engagement matrix, and posting schedule, which I'm sure people are hearing that and just have no idea what you're talking about. Is she talking a foreign language? But that's really why you're here, is to let people know that there's this entire world out there which you're completely unaware of, and you might be making a mistake, and you're possibly costing yourself money and jobs if you're not partaking. So when people want to contact you, how do people go about contacting you and engaging with you?
I have people contact me through my website. I have a contact form on my website, something really simple, basic. Sometimes it ends up in the spam folder, so I have to check that very regularly. But I usually drive people to contact me via email because I don't work. I work from home. I don't have an office. I don't work in an office. I work for clients right across Australia, and hopefully I'll spread that internationally as well, because I can do my work anywhere. So I encourage people to contact me by email and by mobile phone.
And the website is?
It's Sandra L for Louise Muller, MULLER.com, SandraLmuller.com.
We'll put the link up on our Facebook site. There it is there. And look, it's like anything, you know, you can try and do things yourself, but at some point it's probably good to get professional help about your digital platform, especially with creative people, because as we say, it's getting more and more people look at it. Like when for us you pitch or you do anything, and the first thing they'll do is go and look at your social platform. So we're muddling through like a lot of creative people, and I'm sure that going to professional, you can learn a lot, and that's what you're there for.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I'm happy just to have a chat with people as well, steer them in the right direction. You know, that's part of my being helpful. Yes.
Beautiful. Thanks for coming in today and chatting to us.
Yay. It was great fun.
And we'll have you back, I'm sure, to tell us all about what international superstars you'll be looking after soon.
Oh, okay, yes.
Yes. Lovely. Thanks, Sandra, and we'll put the link up on our Facebook page.